Wassup YouTube, PokePrimer here, primed ready to deliver you our Week 2 team builder for the PFL Minor Leagues. This week we are taking on Joseph and the Pittsburg Latios. He's got a pretty decent team, so I am kind of worried about this because he does seem like quite the battler. From what I can tell, he did lose his Week 1 matchup. I believe he lost 5-0. But by no means am I taking him lightly because of that. So definitely something we're going to have to look into, or something we're going to have to pay attention to, and we're not going to be able to take this lightly. We're just going to have to focus on this matchup as hard as we focus on any other. So, with that being said, we definitely need to prep hard for this so that we can guarantee a victory. He is also in our conference, so interconference matches are still kind of important, even though they're not necessarily the most important. They still do help in making playoffs, so every match counts, essentially, in my eyes. So we're going to just have to try our best here to pull out the victory against him. But enough of me rambling. Let's get into his team right here. His team, as I turn this lamp on, because it is very fucking dark in here. But his team consists of Mega Altaria, Thunderous Therian, Magcargo, Klefki, Blissey, Shuckle, Malamar, Nidoqueen, Galvantula, Cresselia, Ludicolo. And that's it. I don't know why I said it that way, and Ludicolo. But so yeah, that's his squad. Which is it's nice. It's a nice squad. But I do see some flaws. First of all, big flaw, Magcargo, huge flaw in my opinion. I mean, obviously, you want to try to get. I would say he was going for a Firewater Grass core, but he only ended up getting Ludicolo when it comes to grass/water types. So I don't really know what his thought process was when he scooped up Magcargo. Maybe he was trying to work with Galvantula later on in the draft when he ended up scooping it up. Maybe that was his goal all along, was to grab 2 Sticky Web users, so that maybe a Shell Smashing Magcargo could be useful. But I just don't see it being a thing. I just don't see it panning out for him, in my opinion. I mean, it could end up being superior to a lot of other strategies I've seen, but I don't think it'll work out. But we'll see what happens. Regardless of all that, he does have Klefki for Prankster support. He has Blissey, which is a huge special wall, which is going to be a very annoying thing to take out if we don't hit it appropriately. He has Cresselia, which is one of the fattest mons in the entire game, and could literally just sit in front of a team for hours. He has Mega Altaria, which is a huge threat if it's allowed to set up. And on top of that, he has the Therian 2R Incarnate in Thunderous T, which does have the Volt Absorb, which could be kind of annoying throughout the matchup. He's also got things like Nidoqueen with its Sheer Force, and Malamar with its Contrary Superpower setup, as well as Shuckle with its potential for Contrary Shell Smashing, and other bullshit like that, to really cause us a lot of issues. But at the same time, those mons aren't necessarily scary to me. I have ways of beating all of them, and the first way of beating a lot of those mons is going to be Chun-Li or Mega Lopunny, which I actually think I'm going to edit slightly on the fly right here. I'm going to drop down its HP to, let's say 147? 52 yeah, we're going to go to 147, we're going to have 52 HP, and we're going to go up to 181 in speed. That reasoning behind that is, I just looked at my calculations here. A Shell Smashed Magcargo, okay, a Shell Smashed Magcargo sits at, if it's timid, max speed will sit at 180 speed, okay? So if we sit at 181, we'll still outspeed it after a Shell Smash, which is kind of pitiful in my opinion, but that's not really that big. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But regardless, we now would outspeed it after a Shell Smash. We do outspeed everything on my opponent's team, barring any Scarfers or anything silly like that. But we do outspeed everything on his squad. We do have to avoid being paralyzed by the Klefki, but I don't see me ever staying in on a Klefki ever in my life. That'd be stupid. But we're rocking an Adamant Nature with max attack this week, with obviously enough speed to outspeed a Shell Smashed Magcargo. But Mega Lopunny here is just going to put in a lot of work. We're rocking Fake Out, High Jump Kick, Iron Tail, and Return. Fake Out is to guarantee that we get our Mega off. There's nothing that they can do. There's nothing that my opponent can do to stop that. Obviously, even if they had a Ghost type, they couldn't switch it in because Fake Out would still hit them. And then we got our stat boosts up. High Jump Kick pretty much hits everything on my opponent's team for a very, very big, hard amount of damage. I'm actually going to open up. I'm going to take this over here. Yeah, I'm going to take this over here and bring up my damage calculator so I have access to that. Yeah, pretty much everything on my opponent's team gets two-shot by this thing. Even things that resist it, such as, say, Thunderous Therian. You know, if it's going to be a Timid Nature, High Jump Kick still does 54 to 64%. And he'd have to be Scarfed to outspeed me, so that's kind of huge. Let me drop you to 50, actually. Does it change at 50? I don't think it does. Yeah, it still does 54 to 64. Return actually has a chance to OHKO it as well. Even a potential Fake Out High Jump Kick combination could take it out, which is even better. So Thunderous Therian isn't a switch into Mega Lopunny by any means. Especially if I do just decide to click Return. Thunderous Therian doesn't switch in, especially if I can get up Stealth Rocks at some point in the matchup. There's no way that Thunderous T could ever switch into Mega Lopunny in any universe. So there's that as a thing. Mega Altaria still gets two-shot by Return. And with our Iron Tail we have... With the Iron Tail, we'd have a chance to take... We would be able to take it out if it switched in on rocks before Mega Evolving. After Mega Evolving, we still have a chance to take it out. If it's taken any prior damage, Iron Tail does 80 to 94%. So we would have a chance to take it out. Again, it'd probably be more risky to go for the Iron Tail, but it's still an option that I have, and I like having options. So that's definitely an option. Still, Iron Tail's there as an option. It's another option for the Shuckle, which, to be honest, Shuckle, as I type in Shuckle, even if it's max physically defensive Shuckle, Iron Tail is a guaranteed 3-hit KO. If it comes in on rocks, High Jump Kick or Iron Tail are both a 3-hit KO guaranteed. So, or both would be a 2-hit KO, so it's not really that big of a deal. Overall, nothing on my opponent's team outside of maybe the Klefki. Klefki can't really switch in because then even if it paralyzes me, I can still kill it regardless of anything. So nothing on his team switches in, is what I'm trying to say. Nothing on his team switches in to Mega Lopunny. Even Nidoqueen. What if Nidoqueen is a thing? Nidoqueen's always a thing. What if Nidoqueen's a thing? Nidoqueen switches into a High Jump Kick, but a Return does 59 to 70, so still not much of a switch in. I'm trying to find his switch-ins. Cresselia. Cresselia is his only switch-in to Mega Lopunny. Only switch-in at all to Mega Lopunny. Because Return does it max 27 to 33. So it's literally, he has to switch into Cress almost every time with Mega Lopunny, or he's going to take huge damage across his team. So that's definitely an option for him. But again, we have plenty of things to handle Crest, so I'm not worried about it. So again, that's neither here nor there. We'll handle the Crest when we get there. But yeah, so Chun-Li pretty much puts in a lot of offensive pressure on his team. And pretty much every time it sits out there, it has a good chance to kill something. Pretty much every single time. And with being able to outspeed the Magcargo, even if he's got a white herb on him and he goes back to he gets back up to full health after if he gets back up to full after. If he gets his defenses back, it doesn't really matter, because in order to outspeed me, he has to be timid. So even if he's like timid, max special attack and everything, I still outspeed him after the Shell Smash and would kill him 100% with a high jump kick. So pretty much this thing just checks his whole team, more or less. It just beats everything. So that's kind of huge. So yeah, Mega Lopunny just kind of here to kill things this week. Hopefully I can make this thing an MVP in this league. That'd be really nice. But it's so hard because there's so many good mons on my opponent's teams. There's so many good mons on my team that it's really hard to make a one Moni MVP because everyone's just as good. But next up we have Stego, the Armaldo, making his debut this season. Rocking an Assault Vest with Battle Armor, so this thing is just literally going to sit on the field and just be fat. With an Adamant nature, we're going to hit like a truck. This thing has such massive attack base, 125 attack, so we have the power to just blow things away. With near max HP as well, we are sitting pretty bulky. With the Assault Vest, we're sitting at about like 150 or so, a little over 150 special defense, and with that special defense, we're also sitting at about We're sitting there at 120 defense, which between the two of those and his nice HP stat, we pretty much can switch in on just about any mon on my opponent's team without any form of issue. We have the Rapid Spin, just in case he does go with the route of trying to get Sticky Webs up with either Shuckle or Galvantula. If he goes that route, we can bring Stego in at just about any point in the matchup and Rapid Spin those Sticky Webs away without any issue. He has no Ghost types that can stop us from Rapid Spinning, so that's really, really useful. He's easily one of the best Rapid Spinners, in my opinion, in the League format, just because of its overall bulk and power. But we have the X-Scissor. X-Scissor is for the Malamar. Malamar can't take this thing on 1v1, because an X-Scissor would absolutely OHKO it in every universe. Even at +1 defense, I'm pretty sure X-Scissor OHKOs. Which is really, really good. Knockoff is there for anything that wants to switch into this thing. It's losing its item 100%. And then Rock Blast is for things like the Galvantula and whatnot that potentially have a sash that think that they can hit us multiple times and get us weakened down. Going for the Rock Blast allows us to break the Galvantula's sash and beat it every single time, and then we have no worries about the Galvantula anymore. Overall, Armaldo's here to keep webs off the field and put in huge pressure against my opponent to try and beat it. He really doesn't have many things on his team that beat Armaldo 1v1, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what he tries to do. But I think Armaldo's going to put in a lot of work for us here, for sure. Actually, I think I can put... Can I go down to 244? Put an extra point in there. That does matter. Yes, I can do that. I will do that. So yeah, that's the spread now we're gonna sit with Stego. So I'm really excited about that. Armaldo is here, and Armaldo's gonna put in some work. Next up, we have Boombat, the Choice Scarfed Noivern, and I'm so excited to have Noivern because I never get to use this thing. I never play down at RU, so having this mon on our squad is really, really awesome. Boombat here is going to be rocking the Infiltrator ability, just in case he tries to sub up with some things. We can break through those subs and fuck them up anyway. We're running 52 HP EVs, so that we still have an odd number and just a little bit of bulk, even though this thing is very frail. We are able to run a Modest Nature this week because we don't need all that much speed. His fastest mon being His fastest mon is his Thunderous Therian. Yeah, his fastest mon is his Thunderous Therian. His fastest mon that could be Scarfed is Thunderous Therian. So having this thing run 1 point faster than Thunderous T was essential, so that we can outspeed it and blow it away before it can do anything to us. We were rocking moveset of Draco Meteor, Hurricane, Focus Blast, and U-Turn. U-Turn's there just for momentum, but it still does like well over half to Malamar. It still does good damage to it. So even if the Malamar thinks it can switch into us, if it's a Assault Vest or something, we can go for the U-Turn, and the Malamar will get blown away. We have the Focus Blast. Focus Blast will hit the Blissey, but that's not really a huge issue because Blissey will take it like a monster. Focus Blast is there more so for the Magcargo. Obviously, if it Shell Smashes, it'll be fast, but we'll outspeed it, and a Focus Blast will take it out because its special defense is complete trash compared to its physical defense. And again, in order for it to be effective as a Shell Smash Sweeper, it would have to be very, very speedy. And I don't see him bringing. I don't see him bringing like a bulky one. I don't even see him bringing it, to be honest. But he could, and you never know. But that's still an option. Focus Blast is there. We have the Hurricane. Hurricane is there for the Ludicolo. Ludicolo could be kind of a threat if it's a Assault Vest or even a Swift Swim variant for whatever reason. Regardless, having the Hurricane there is huge because we have something then that'll hit the Ludicolo, and it's Stab too. Stab Hurricanes are going to hurt just about anything on his team that wants to try to switch into us. And then lastly, we have the Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor is not necessarily super effective on anything, but it's there for stab, and it's there to punch holes. Choice Scarf, Modest, Noivern with Draco Meteor is going to punch holes through pretty much everything. Like, not many things really want to come and, like, take a Draco Meteor from this thing. I mean, it's a Draco Meteor from a Noivern, which is one of the scariest things that you could ever hear in your life. So we have that. Nothing's gonna switch into it, and yeah, that's pretty much the whole point of Noivern. Noivern's just here to punch holes in walls. Next up, we have a name change here. We have Thor, the Thunderous Incarnate, because of the fact that I have no way of getting a new Thunderous in my game, and the Thunderous I do have is already named Thor, so therefore the name will stay as Thor from here on out. But we're rocking a very interesting set on this mod this week. We're rocking just enough speed to outspeed the Galvantula with a Naive Nature. Max special attack, 16 into attack, and 4 into HP, so we have an odd number. Now, this spread's very interesting because we are not running electric-type stab attack, because the Thunderous T is such an obvious switch into this thing. Every time. There's really not much on his team that wants to take those hits, or take too many hits from us, so the Thunderous T would more or less switch into us a lot. So that's why we are running the set the way it is. We are running Thunder Wave for the cases of things like things that want to set up on us, or things that the case of the Mega Altaria. Thunder Wave is really good for shutting down setups, so if he brings a Dragon Dancing Mega Altaria for whatever reason, if he thinks that would be the most effective, I might agree with him partially, but if he thinks a Dragon Dancing Mega Altaria would be most effective against us, we can go ahead, go in on it, and Thunder Wave it, and then make it pretty much useless. We are also carrying the Flash Cannon to hit that Mega Altaria with after we have paralyzed it. We do also have the HP Ice to hit it with, but the HP Ice is more for the Thunderous T-switch-ins. Nothing really, it doesn't really want to take it, and really nothing that would normally switch into us would want to take an HP Ice. If the Blissey is his dedicated switch into us, that's fine. That's totally okay, because we do have the U-turn to just get ourselves out of there and keep up momentum. With a Life Orb, this thing's going to hit pretty hard, and I have a feeling we can catch the Thunderous off guard a lot with this mon. and potentially take it out earlier on in the match and make it not really a deal, not really a big deal, because I do actually want to see right now Thundurus v Thundurus. Say he's timid, max HP, or max speed, max special attack. I'm max speed, max special attack with a speed boosting nature. HP Ice with a Life Orb does 66 to 79% to the Thundurus upon a switch in, so that's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So he can't one-shot. He could have one-shot me after Life Orb recoil with Thunderbolt, but again, I have my switch-ins to Thundurus. I have switch-ins to Thundurus, so I'm not really too worried about it. I have 2 switch-ins to Thundurus right here, so I'm not really scared of it. But yeah, that's kind of the plan here. Is just to have that HP Ice to hit the Thundurus on switch-ins, Flash Cannons for the Mega Altaria and the Shuckle, and then we have the U-turn for momentum purposes. Next up, we have Black Lagoon, the Swampert with the Rindo Berry. Now, I'll be honest, I'm always sketchy about bringing berries because they're so situational. But in this matchup, there's no way he can't run HP Grass on something. Thundurus would almost need to run HP Grass against us because of the fact that we have a Swampert. So if I can get this thing in safely against Thundurus T, we actually have a good chance of beating it. Because we're gonna bring up all of our statistics here. We have 252 HP. We have 156 defense, bold nature, and we have 100 in special attack. Okay, so if he has hidden power grass, okay, we have a Rindo Berry. His HP Grass will only do 51 to 61% to us, which will do from minimum 107 damage to maximum 127 damage. Okay? We have the Mirror Coat. So even if we have to let Thundurus T take him on out, first of all, we'll find out if it's scarfed or not that way. But if we have to let Thundurus T take something out, then we will. That's fine by me. I'm okay with that. But for sure, we definitely need like, honestly, if we have to let him take out Thundurus in the long run, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm okay with it. I'm like internally okay with that, because we'll see if it's scarfed or not. If we outspeed it, it's not scarfed, and then it can switch over to HP Grass if it has it, and then we can just bring Swampert in freely and potentially just click Mirror Coat against it and then kill it, and then Thundurus is gone and we have nothing to worry about. We do have these Stealth Rocks, because getting Stealth Rocks up in this matchup, there's a lot of mons we can pretty much come in on and just set Stealth Rocks up against without any real issue. So that's cool. He doesn't really have too many... I actually don't think he has any hazard removal options either. So unless Shuckle gets Rapid Spin. Does Shuckle get Rapid Spin? I feel like Shuckle does get Rapid Spin, but at the same time, I feel like it probably doesn't. I don't know. Cerebi, what do you got for me? Can this little bitch learn Rapid Spin? Obviously not by TM. Egg move. No, he doesn't get it. Tutor moves. Transfer moves. Nope. Shuckle does not learn Rapid Spin. That's good to know. So he has nothing on his team that I see that learns Rapid Spin or Defog. So, unless maybe defog Mega Altaria? Does Altaria get defog? I feel like it might. I'd be kind of surprised if it didn't, but I feel like it might. What do you think that far ahead to get a defogging Altaria? I mean, obviously it doesn't learn it by level up, which is good. Can't get it by TM. Can't get it by breeding. It's not a move to remove. Does it get defog? It actually doesn't get defog. Alright, yes, so just making sure he has absolutely no way of getting defog or rabbit spin on his team. So if I get rocks up, they stay, and they hurt his team a lot. So definitely that's one of the goals with Swampert, is to get the rocks up ASAP. Because if we don't, then we could have a little bit more of difficulty against his team. We do need the rocks this week to guarantee some Okos. But moveset-wise, we do have Scald and Earth Power as well for offensive moves. Scald more for getting burns on things, but it'll hit the Shuckle and the blow away the Magcargo completely, which is really, really big. Lastly, we have the Earth Power, which will hit the Nidoqueen and the Magcargo, as well as the Klefki, who can't really do anything to us either. So pretty much this set does a good job of taking on his team very nicely. And I'm looking forward to testing out Black Lagoon here against this squad. Lastly, we have Spooptree, who is part of our dual assault vested core between him and Stego, running 100 special defense CVs to make him a little bit bulkier, 248 HP, and 160 into attack with an adamant nature. Phantom Force, Drain Punch, Earthquake, and X-Scissor as our moveset. X-Scissors for the Malamar 100%, that's the only reason. Earthquake is there for the Magcargo and the Klefki. With us having Natural Cure, Klefki can't do too much to us in the long run. If it paralyzes us, it doesn't matter. We can swap out and it's gone. Earthquake will also blow the Magcargo off the face of the earth. We can definitely eat a hit from a Magcargo. No problem with our Assault Vest and our bulk investment, so we can definitely handle it without too big of an issue. We have the Drain Punch for the Blissey. Blissey's a huge threat, but as long as we hit it with a physical attack, it's pretty much useless. So we do have the Drain Punch, and it's going to do big damage to the Blissey. It might come in on us thinking we can't do much to it, but Drain Punch will do a lot. And then Phantom Force is for the Cress. Really, he has one normal type on his team. If it switches into us, we can just go for Drain Punches, which isn't that big of a deal. If he doesn't switch it into us, then we can pretty much just do about 50-some% to Cress. Actually, let me test that out. Let me see. Let me test the waters here. Boom. Bring up Cresselia. Defensive. Nice and bold. Max. Drop you both to 50. Make you adamant. Give you 160. Alright. 39 to 47%. That's how much we're doing. Alrighty. And how much is he doing to us? Cress is doing jack shit to us. Even with an Ice Beam or a Shadow Ball, it's only doing like 17 to 20%. So we can pretty much just spam Phantom Force against this thing, and pretty much nothing really wants to switch into it. Overall, not really. So, pretty much just kind of gets fucked up by us, which is kind of nice. But yeah, Cresselia is a huge issue because Cresselia is just so fat, it's really hard to handle. But hopefully, between all the mons that we have that just have coverage for it, I think we have a good chance of taking it down. It's just gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but I think we can do it. I think without any shadow of doubt that we can beat Joseph and go 2-0 here in the PFL Minor League. But yeah, until then, I'm PokePrimer, preparing the Pyrite Piloswines for battle, and I'm gonna be signing.